Hey everybody, welcome back to the Beyond the Peloton podcast. I'm Spencer Martin, author of the Beyond the Peloton newsletter. I am once again not here with Andrew Vontz. We had an issue recording. I didn't have power all week, 105 mile an hour winds in Boulder, a little hectic, so we couldn't get it in. We also are in the middle of our Abandon Your Family 500, where we try to ride 500 kilometers in the 8 days before Christmas Day. It concludes on Wednesday, Christmas Eve. If you would like to join, just comment on one of my rides on Strava. I'll try to get you in the event. We are quickly running out of slots. We are in the midst of that. We're a little busy. So instead of a regular episode, I'm going to we're doing a daily series on Andrew's Choose the Hard Way feed, cataloging, documenting the event, our experiences trying to ride 500 kilometers. I'm going to put the first edition of that, the inaugural kickoff, in this episode. It's with me, Andrew Vontz, and Jonathan Kaplan, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it right now.
I definitely found it to be hard to achieve, and I did have to make some choices and compromises that I'm willing to make for a short period of time. That's what this is about. You're maybe not going to spend time with your wife in the evening. You might not get to read to your kids before bed, but at the end of this period, you'll be able to say, yes, I completed 500 kilometers during the Abandon Your Family 500 2025, and that's something your kids will remember forever. This is Andrew Vontz, and you're listening to Choose the Hard Way, the podcast about how hard things build stronger people who have more fun. People like my special guest today, Spencer Martin from the Beyond the Peloton newsletter and podcast, We Do Peacock, as well as the esteemed Jonathan Kaplan from Riding with JK. Also joining us this episode in the background is my Lauf Segla, my favorite gravel bike I've ever owned. And this episode is brought to you by my partner, blockchain.com. Why are we gathered here today, gentlemen? It's because this is a public service announcement. We're hitting that very special time of year when families gather to celebrate the holidays, and cyclists, particularly master cyclists, of course, know that this is the time that you need to leave your family behind and focus on what's truly important in life. And what is that? It's making sure that you're putting down the foundation to get those mid-pack results at those lifetime Grand Prix events you're paying between $3,000 to $5,000 to travel and compete in at some point during the 2026 season. Of course, traditionally, Spencer, Jonathan, you know that the average master cyclist is probably focused on abandoning their family during the absolute busiest, most time-intensive week of the year for people who have families. That, of course, is that period between roughly December 25th or whenever school ends for your kids and New Year's. And of course, if you're someone who doesn't have kids, this is a very busy time for you as well. You might be spending time with your family of origin, your friends, your partner's family. The easy thing to do, of course, is to fully abandon your family during that Christmas to New Year window. What we have done collectively for the past several years is we've deepened our friendship and our professional relationship as well by making a commitment that we're going to invite you to join today, because you are here listening to Choose the Hard Way as someone who knows that doing hard things builds stronger humans who have more fun, and that doing it with your friends makes it even more fun. What are we talking about? Spencer, Jonathan, take it away.
We're talking about riding 500 kilometers over the next 10 days between December 15th and December 25th.
And what is it called?
The Abandon Your Family 500. It's trademarked, copyrighted. Lawyers were involved.
In no way related to the Festive 500.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Not at all. No. just a couple people in garages just sweating.
And you know that because I was going back through Andrew's Instagram. It's like, or no, your Strava. It's like, Abandon Your Family 500, December 10th. Next post. Like, Abandon Your Family 500, December 15th. Don't miss it. So I believe the official dates we locked in. It's 10 days, not 8 like the Festive 500. Why? Don't ask us why. I guess it makes it harder to get sued, but we think it's a nice number. 500 kilometers, 10 days. Let's do it together. Have we? I am getting quite worried, though, because people are following us en masse on Strava to get into this event. It is taking off to the extent that I was coaching soccer on Sunday. One of the co-coaches said, "Have you heard of the Abandon Your Family 500? Andrew Vontz is putting it on. Do you know this guy?" And I said, "Yeah, I do know him. And yes, I am aware of the Abandon Your Family 500, but it is broken containment. It is out. And I think, are we at our maximum? Because people are following us to be in it. But Kip maybe pointed out that we have hit our max invite. Is that true?"
I personally I went on last night or this morning and invited a few more people.
Okay, that's good.
But is it, maybe there's a limit per person?
200 per person, perhaps. So
No,
I've got a lot of invites left.
It's not 200 per person. It's 200 max. And what I noticed is Kip, and if you don't listen to the Beyond the Peloton podcast that Spencer and I do, you should definitely subscribe to it. We do pro cycling analysis and talk about some of the most...
But we kind of say we do. We do a lot of, I guess, airplane Wi-Fi talk.
We talk about a variety of topics.
Yeah.
You might think of it as the ringer for professional cycling and gravel cycling. And we also talk quite a bit about a dear friend of ours, someone who I think we could think of as the fourth horseman of the Abandon Your Family 500 challenge. And Spencer, maybe you could share a bit about this. Kip of Kip's Corner, if you're a Beyond the Peloton listener. And Kip is joining this challenge. Spencer, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about how Kip got involved in 2024. Before we do that, for anyone who's listening who heard a little bit of the mechanic of the challenge and has no idea what we're talking about, we are hosting this challenge on Strava, which has a user-created challenge platform. And at the outset, it is not clear because you're not told the limit of the number of people you can invite, or maybe it's somewhere in the fine print. I was an executive at Strava when this feature was created, and the executive team did a challenge together. That's probably a topic for another podcast. And I'm not really sure. I just know at this point, it looks like we have reached the maximum number of people potentially who can join the challenge. And Jonathan, you were able to invite people today. This is kind of one of those, why did I see two sets of footprints in the sand and today there's only one? Well, Jonathan, it's because I've been carrying the group. I went in and I started deleting out people I had invited who I have a handwritten list here. These are people who did not rise to the challenge. And I now know a little bit more about their commitment to cycling excellence.
Was it blink twice if it's Ben Delaney?
Ben still has the opportunity to join this challenge, and if he wanted to come into this challenge, he would be welcome to do so. However, I do believe that at this point we're nearing the maximum. This is what's great about this experience, though, is this is a self-organizing process, and anyone could start their own challenge on Strava, and they could label it the Abandon Your Family 500. We perhaps could start multiple challenges, and Strava does offer a commercial product that is a challenge platform to brands, organizations, and individuals. I have no idea what the middle ground is between that, which has a price tag that I don't think would be commensurate with what we're doing today, which is simply servicing around 10,000 people, and potentially, and where we are on today, December 10th, which is we're at around 200 people thus far have joined. I will say it is spreading like wildfire.
That is crazy, by the way. I mean, last year, it was us plus Kip plus two other people, just that.
Could you talk a bit about Kip's involvement, and then we could maybe get more into the weeds here?
Yeah, well, here you mentioned the gravel events. Do you know how much it costs to get a guaranteed entry to 2026 Unbound?
No idea.
This is shocking.
$2,000.
$2,200. Wow. Jeez. Yeah. It's just incredible to see a small business like Lifetime just be able to command prices like that. So, yeah, Kip's been a friend of mine for a long time. He just showed up, rolled in from Albuquerque. I'm going to say around, I might get the date wrong, maybe 2015. Kip doesn't know any better. He just rolls into Boulder. At the time, there was a team called GS Chow that was like an actual – Colby Pierce was on this team, like a professional level team. They won the national championship with the rider. Very good. Kip's just like showing up and beating them. And he like doesn't understand that that's hard or something he shouldn't be doing. And everyone's kind of mad at him. They're like, wow. He comes on the bus stop ride. He just rides off the front. Like that is so hard to do. It just rolls off the front of the bus stop ride. And people are like, you're not supposed to do that. So Kip, I've known Kip for a long time. Very good cyclist. I think he should be former hill climb national champion because he won Pikes Peak Hill Climb Challenge. I believe the year after it was not designated the national championship, but that's still pretty impressive. Kip has 3 children. One of them just born. We go to Tucson last year. That does not stop Kip. He comes, joins the Tucson Challenge. He's just, I mean, talk about 2 footprints in the sand, man. Well, I was hurting that on the Death March day, and then Kip pulled us all the way home. So thank you, Kip, for doing that. He told, I think about this all the time. Jonathan was kind of cracked, and he's like, how long do we have to go? He's like, just tell yourself it's 100 miles. And anything less than that's going to feel easy. Just a pretty good way to go through life, actually. But so we're happy to have Kip in the family. And I think he's listened to every episode of the Beyond the Peloton podcast, and he always used to complain, like, you never talk about me on the show. So be careful what you wish for, because now he's a recurring character on the show, and he'll never have a private life. It's over.
Let me just say 2 things. When we were climbing Gates Pass, Kip came back. Kip climbed it like 1.5 times in the time it took me just to get up once. He came back to pace me back up the mountain, or that climb. So I lost my train of thought. The second thing, Kip, you don't have to listen to every episode if you want to be in it. Sometimes they do the AI transcription. So just go to the search function, put your name in, and give it like what they call the Washington read. And then if you're in it, you can listen to the parts where they drop your name. That's what I do.
Yeah, and Jonathan, on the day that we climbed Mount Lennon, kind of the Iwo Jima of this group, and Kip did the full lemon. He went all the way to the ski resort. I believe
he had a cookie.
A lunch up there.
He had time to have ice cream or a cookie or something. Yeah,
I believe there was a rock slide or something, and Kip got off, and he had speed play shoes on, no problem. Walked right through it. And
I saw this coming. Could have been a rock slide. That's why you go speed play.
And that, of course, Jonathan, that was the day that you wore. It was maybe 55 degrees. I think you had thermal tights, a Rafa heavy winter coat, and you had a cardiac event.
No, I did not. I did not.
I
was too tired. I was very tired that day.
Right, you were a little bit overdressed.
I was. It was deceiving. I've never been in the desert before. I'm not going to get sensitive about this.
Well, I mean, even today, the forecast in Tucson, it's like low of 33, high of 75. Like, how do you dress for that?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to be clear, Jonathan, I'm not giving you any stick. I think what we're highlighting here is you have to know when to say when. I don't know if it was Nancy Reagan who said, hey, after that 3rd, 4th drink, put the bottle down. I don't know who it was. It's the same thing when you're out there on your bike. And I have to say, yes, enter into the arena of the Abandon Your Family 500. I was just down in the kitchen before this, helping getting the kids ready for school. I didn't share this with you, Jonathan and Spencer. We actually have another family staying here because the winter conditions were so lovely yesterday that their boiler froze and it was below 0 and they needed somewhere to stay for the night. So dear friends of ours, a lot of kids downstairs getting fed crepes right now. And as we enter into the Abandon Your Family 500 period, Spencer, could you talk a little bit about just the spirit of cooperation and competition? And that's what I remember when I remember how I met Kip, which was Kip showed up in the challenge. And then I think potentially Kip became aggrieved because I put in some heavy mileage early in the challenge in 2024.
Well, you are embodying the Abandon Your Family 500 because the family is in the kitchen. Andrew's nowhere to be seen. So You're getting a head start. The way Andrew approaches the Abandon Your Family 500 makes me think you could go toe-to-toe with Geraint Thomas at the pub, and makes me think it's probably good you're not out drinking on a daily basis, because this guy I think of myself as an obsessive person. I'm nothing compared to Andrew. I mean, you're getting on there like I feel like you try to do this in like 4 days, and you're like, I'm cracked. Like, yeah, because you did 500K in 4 days, but he gets after it. He'll get out to an early lead, and he'll hold that lead. I think you could do this. I bet you do it in 4 or 5 days. It's impressive stuff, and it gets in people's heads. Like Kip, he can't handle it.
Yeah, I think it got under Kip's skin a little bit last year.
I'm sure it did.
I also think he was sick, like for part of it, and then he just like not Andrew Kip was. I
think this is true, and also he was sick last year. This year he's just got
nursing
surgery,
a broken collarbone.
He's still doing this challenge.
Yeah,
is it true that he's doing
separation?
Like 16, he's like sitting on the trainer with you can't put weight on it. So he's like a yoga block that he has to put on the handlebars so he can sit upright. Yeah, it's amazing. And he's doing it. So there's no excuse, Ben Delaney, to not do this challenge.
Yeah, I mean, Kip's got, Old Man Winter right around the corner?
Yeah, I mean, that's coming up.
Bay,
with Old Man Winter, which multiple times has been canceled due to snow. Where it's like, well, yeah, it's a gravel race in the middle of winter in Colorado.
Right.
Well, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And June, July, nothing on the calendar. You're like, well, you got to get that gravel race in late February. What's the worst that could happen?
I just want to say that the first time we did this, I tried to do it in the past, the official version, but I found it like it does take a level of commitment and time management. But I think Spencer pointed out that when I did it in 2024, when we did it in 2024, and I actually finished it, like I hadn't had that sense of accomplishment on a bike in a very long time. And as Spencer had said, like just putting a number to something, it's amazing, like how good it feels when you're done. So I think I wrote about it in the newsletter. So maybe Andrew, you maybe include that in the link tree, the show notes, however you do it now.
Yeah, that was a great read. If anybody doesn't follow all of us, you can, of course, go to my link tree at Hardway Pod. You can subscribe to my Substack, which is always thehardway.substack.com. And you should subscribe to Jonathan's newsletter, Riding with JK, and Spencer's Beyond the Peloton. I think that your life will be at least 3% better. So, Jonathan, I think that's absolutely right. Just setting a goal that's a bit ridiculous. I definitely found it to be hard to achieve, and I did have to make some choices and compromises that I'm willing to make for a short period of time. That's what this is about. You're maybe not going to spend time with your wife in the evening. You might not get to read to your kids before bed, but at the end of this period, you'll be able to say, yes, I completed 500 kilometers during the Abandon Your Family 500 2025, and that's something your kids will remember forever.
You know what I call reading to your kid, reading to at least my son before bedtime? You know what I call that?
Putting yourself to bed?
A nap.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the podcast before. It's really dangerous. Like, I'll lay down with you. And it's like so nice. And it's like you could fall asleep right there. And you're like, you're never leaving that room. It's too comfy. And I know you're bringing up something that you're reminding me of, Andrew, is the second session. You go down 8, 9 p.m. Is this actually better for your marriage? That's what I've been wondering. Like, does the wife, partner, whoever you live with, do they need to watch like crap on Peacock? Like, and you don't need to be a part of that. Maybe that's better for the cohabitation.
Yeah, maybe binging Love is Blind or Masterpiece Theater, whatever.
Absolute bullshit.
Let's flip that equation. Is that you can watch the crap that you want to watch.
Landman is not crap, okay? That's
best show on television. Best show on television.
TV.
I got to get Billy Bob. Oh my God, so good.
Andrew, you don't like this show. Is this true?
I'm watching it because I love Billy Bob Thornton as a performer. And really touching to see him have this breakthrough with his father. I mean, yeah, really incredible. I will say, though, I know everybody's tight on time. This is a public service announcement. We wanted to let people know the Abandon Your Family 500, even if we max out, please continue to add us on Strava or request a follow, and we will loop you in. Whatever we have to do to make this happen, we will. Maybe we'll even publish instructions for how you can organize your own group. At the end of the day, this is not about proof of work and tracking it somewhere, although you absolutely have to do that. We might require photographic evidence. It's really about what you hear us doing here, which is pick something fairly ridiculous to do with a time commitment that is definitely high friction, onerous, difficult to achieve, and potentially damaging to your other interpersonal and familial relationships. And you'll have, I promise you, that you're going to have stories and experiences to last a lifetime. We carried our fitness from this last year into our next challenge, which was completing, I believe, climbing the height of Mount Everest in a week on Zwift. We do need to look into a potential MyWoosh collab. I think that there's potentially something there. Spencer, I think you might be in the right place to make that happen this week.
Yeah, no comment on that. We don't need to talk about my mini trips to the Middle East.
Yeah.
I mean, now that I'm remembering that is a really good combo. The Abandon Your Family 500, I think it's a good training adaptation. And then you do Christmas or whatever you celebrate at the end of the solstice, whatever is important to you at the end of December, and then go into Everesting in January. And then I believe we went straight into our trip, if I'm not mistaken,
correct,
to Tucson. So I am scouting out some potential locations for us. Just today, I will be flying to check these out, but I'll get back to you guys, let you know where we're going in January, because we need to get that fired up again.
Andrew needs to see the sun for the first and only time in the next 4 months.
Yeah. Also, did you know Billy Bob Thornton not from Texas?
Where's he from?
Arkansas.
Right.
I wonder if that's a little bit of it's a little code switching there.
He actually, I don't know if this has been announced anywhere, but watch.
Jonathan was about to say it's the same thing. Not even close to the same thing.
No.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I believe that Billy Bob is picking up an Oz Trails sponsorship, and he's going to be rolling on Ally in 2026 and headed to that bike park they're building in Bentonville that's going to be Lyft serviced.
With a cigarette in his mouth. Actually, I mean, your listeners don't need to know, but I lived in Arkansas in Little Rock in the summer of 1992.
Wow. Was that Bill Clinton related? Why were you there?
Yeah.
Crazy.
What were you doing, Jonathan?
A friend and I from college got jobs, unpaid jobs, helping his team count delegates. Because if you remember, there was Paul Tsongas, Jerry Brown, and I don't think Bill Clinton wrapped up the nomination until like June. I could be wrong about that. But they wanted to make sure when they got to the convention that all the delegates were on his side and he didn't have some kind of crisis where, that resulted, it was never going to happen in some kind of brokered convention. But yeah, Little Rock, 1992.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that, I got to say, worst part of the state. No,
well, we took trip Hope Springs, Fayetteville, Texarkana.
All right. So if you've been following along for the past couple of years, this is a big reveal. This is the beginning of Jonathan's involvement in the deep state. And as we look forward, what are you all hoping to get out of the Abandon Your Family 500 this year? I think as you highlighted, Spencer, I believe for all of us, going to Pace Ranch, which is an incredible facility in Tucson, Arizona, if you're ever looking for a location for a training camp, that's definitely one to consider. Slide on the Normatex at the end of the day, slip into the cold plunge for a live Kip's Corner session in the morning. Enjoy that cool desert mist. I feel like that kind of lit a fire beneath our collective asses, and there was this feeling of, I better be in shape because I don't know what Kip's going to do when I get to Tucson, right?
Yeah, definitely. We had a motivation last year that I may be lacking this year.
Soon enough, though, we'll have the time lock. We'll have something else lined up. And whoever you are, wherever you are, do the Abandon Your Family 500. The hashtag is AYF500. Look for it everywhere that you're wasting time in a feed. Waste some of your own time generating content and using that hashtag. We need to propagate this movement coast to coast, sea to shining sea, amber waves of watts, and then throughout the world. And I think that during these times, this is an opportunity for the entire world to get on the trainer away from their families and experience the unifying power of endurance sports. I was just yesterday communicating with another friend of ours who I think may have their own private Abandon Your Family 500 challenge and may not join ours, which is fine. And I describe this as the equivalent of Hands Across America in your garage. I don't think Spencer even knows what that is. He's probably too young. Jonathan, can you talk about Hands Across America?
I can't remember what it is. I will say I hope to get outside. I would like to ultimately, I would like to do at least half of the ride outdoors.
That's a very worthy aspiration. And since Jonathan failed on demand to produce a description of Hands Across America, it was sometime in the early 80s. And the concept was they were going to have people hold hands across the entire United States at the same time.
Man, I remember this. I do remember this.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah.
Man, we used to be a country, huh?
We could do something together.
Can you actually man, you really have to think about that. Like, so who's like on top of the Continental Divide?
What was the point again?
What's the point? Is the great question.
What was behind this? Besides some big communal exercise?
It was probably Pepsi. We'd have to look.
Gotta be Pepsi. Sounds.
But now that we're talking about it, though, who knows where we go from here? Today, it's to choose the hard way by Beyond the Peloton by riding with JK. Abandon Your Family 500. The hashtag is AYF500. Tomorrow, Hands Across America. Stay tuned, everybody. It's going to be a big 2026. We want you to sweat with us heavily and for a long period of time away from your families. Stay tuned. We'll come back and have a report on how the Abandon Your Family 500 went following the completion of this event. And you can follow me on social at Hardway Pod if you want to share anything. And we're looking forward to sweating together. One nation under Abandon Your Family 500 forever.